Wild, weird, amazing, and caught on video. This week on Wild and Weird Amazing Videos, let her rip and drive way too fast on a track shaped like an oval. Wait a minute, aren't they all? Visit Patagonia, a foreign land where chasing ostriches is a good thing. In London, there's a weather project, an indoor sun. Well, there's no sun outdoors. A stress reduction class for the police in northern India. Honestly, how weird can it get? Round and round they go. It's the gentlemanly sport of road racing. Roman chariots did it once, and that was before mufflers. Those suckers were loud. Some of these cars are actually homemade. That's why it's a pity watching them turn back into squashed tin cans. Some still have the tuna in them. You can smell it. The key to road racing is staying on the track. Not all these sportsmen realize this, or they don't care, or they're just trying to make us laugh. I'm laughing. But as fast as these race cars are, they're no match for your common ostrich. It's true, dog. Just like his father and grandfather before him, Eduardo Holiday spends his Sundays on his horse chasing ostriches and llamas. He's the guardian of a centuries-old tradition, the last witness of a forgotten culture.
¡Ahí en las matas moras!
Welcome to Patagonia. Welcome to the end of the world. We are in the extreme south of Argentina, 3,000 kilometers from Buenos Aires. On this arid land that is covered in snow for 8 months of the year lives the Holiday family. Eduardo is the head of the family with his wife Silvina and their 2 children. The Holidays have been here since 1885 when Eduardo's great-grandfather arrived from his native Scotland in search of a fortune on these virgin lands of the New World. Today, they own 30,000 hectares of land and a flock of 10,000 sheep, which need to be watched over all year long. The Holidays live outside of time, following the rhythm of their animals and their agricultural work. Eduardo cultivates his way of living. He's a kind of guardian of traditions. More particularly, he is one of the last to still use the boleadoras. The boleadoras are an incredible weapon related to the lasso, which were invented by the region's first inhabitants, the Tehuelche Indians.
El origen de las boleadoras es indígena, que adaptó el hombre blanco al venir a poblar.
The boleadoras are of Indian origin. The white man adopted this weapon once he settled down in this region in South America. In the beginning, before the colonists and horses arrived, the Indians used what was called the lost ball, in other words, a single stone attached to a cord. You spun it above your head, and then you threw it in order to knock your prey out. When the horse arrived, the system evolved radically toward the principle of wrapping around the prey's legs, with the appearance of the boleadoras with 2 or 3 stones. In the Holiday family, the secret of the boleadoras is passed on from generation to generation. The rules for making them are strict and follow real mathematical formulas. You need 2 completely identical stones and a third that is heavier and larger. One of the 3 leather cords must also be longer than the others. This is essential in order to ensure the perfect rotation of the boleadoras through the air so that they wind themselves around the animal's legs.
Cambia la variación de tamaño. Si es para guanacos,
Over time, we've perfected various sized boleadoras, heavier and bigger versions for capturing llamas, and even much larger ones for capturing horses. But then we no longer use stones. We use a paste made from sand mixed with blood. This, of course, is to avoid breaking the horse's legs because we use this weapon against a horse in order to stop it and not to kill it.
Es para pararlo, no para matarlo.
Eduardo's grandfather was taught all the secrets of the boleadoras by the Indians. He spent all his Sundays hunting in their company. The tradition continues even though today, for these gauchos at the end of the world, the boleadoras are only a sport, a pleasure, an art. Today, Francisco is the holiday's guest. He therefore has the honor of choosing his horse first. The game can now begin. Today's adversary is the Niandu, a kind of local ostrich.
No es mucha fuerza porque la misma boleadora y la velocidad del caballo.
It isn't a question of strength because, in fact, the horse's speed is enough to increase the throwing speed. For a good throw, the ostrich has to have both trajectory and a regular speed. The rider, like the ostrich, also has to be moving fast. In these conditions, you just have to throw where you want.
Le pone la avestrucera donde uno quiere.
That's the theory. In practice, the Niandu make formidable clients, being particularly fast and crafty. In the end, after 2 hours' effort, the first animal is captured and then immediately released. As for the ostrich, a little bit later, it swears to itself that it will never be caught again. As for our 4 gauchos, they promise to perpetuate the tradition of the boleadoras for a long time to come. Every once in a while, Wild and Weird Videos has to salute the best of the worst of the wildest of the weirdest. And that's what we're doing. This is a salute. Can't you tell by the respectful way we're featuring these athletes? These are the men who belong not on the outside of a cereal box, but inside a cereal box. At the rate they're going, they'll get there. Just keep training to be mush, boys. The SeaWorld Marine Park in Chicago celebrated Christmas with a unique show for aquarium fans. In this fishy celebration, 7 divers dressed up in Santa Claus outfits took a plunge into an aquarium to decorate a Christmas tree, stopping, of course, to feed several fish before a small crowd of spectators. SeaWorld Marine Park started its operation in Indonesia in the mid-1990s. About 6,000 fish, or 400 different species, are kept in the park. But the fish mainly come in from around the Palayan-Kalapa Islands and the Sitabu Islands. They also come from waters around West Java. During the 30-minute underwater show, the Santas planted the white glowing Christmas tree and wrapped up the show with a huge Christmas greeting banner to the audience. About 12,000 visitors viewed the exhibit during the 4-day show. Mitty Sander, the marketing manager of the Indonesian SeaWorld Marine Park, explained that the show has a symbolic meaning. The 7 diving Santas were decorating a Christmas tree underwater. The Christmas tree, a symbol for the Christians' day of peace and sharing, is usually reserved for the land. But by uniting water and earth with the combined help of the diving Santas, Mitty expressed his hope for peace on the earth and underwater. Although this deep meaning may have gone unnoticed by some of the spectators, many said they were delighted to bring their families to see the underwater Santas. Of course, some children were terrified and will never again go near a bathtub or a chimney. British obsession with weather is not a recent phenomenon, and a further testament to this is the Tate Modern's exhibition entitled The Weather Project. The installation was created by Danish-Icelandic artist Oliver Eliasson. He has recreated a sunset and its atmosphere with such success, the visitors lie down and bask under the fake sun. In addition, the room is also filled with a mist, which is made out of sugar and water to achieve the desired effect. Eliasson took 3 weeks to complete the installation after months of planning. Around 300 mirrors were used for the ceiling, and more than 200 lamps were needed for the semicircular screen. Eliasson has built a reputation for installations and sculptural works that engage, amaze, and disorient the viewer. He uses light, wind, steam, fire, water, and ice, combining these materials with modern technology in unexpected ways. He views the weather, wind, rain, and sun as one of the fundamental encounters with pure nature that can still be experienced in the city. Certainly a philosophy that can be responsible for the huge success of the installation. People of all ages and from all over the world marvel for hours at what curator Susan May describes as being the burning sun that can be seen in the distance. One of the best illusions of the exhibition is that even though it looks warm, the installation does not give out any heat. Irrespective of this fact, people bask under the light, quietly contemplating the atmosphere it creates. For the average English person, it is more than just art. It represents a form of escape from the rainy, wintry weather outside. Alex Dobby, a visitor outside, said that it is just wonderful seeing a bit of indoor sunshine and seeing the sky up there. It's like flying. As Susan May explains, people really respond to the idea of sun inside because it's cold and gray outside. In other words, most Londoners have never seen the sun in their lives. Dreary London. Ah, the sport of hang gliding. It's like the Wright brothers, done wrong. The way these guys do it every flight, it could be their last. The families sit at home divvying up their belongings. But hang gliders are a tight bunch. They like to hang out and shoot the breeze. They're mainly full of hot air, if you get my meaning. Isaac Newton's law of gravity is proven every day by these gentlemen. They go up, they go down. No harm, no foul. Don't blame nature if you're no good, boys. This is just one of the ways that policemen in northern India mellow out. Here's another way. A northern Indian state conducts stress therapy for policemen. India's northern Himachal Pradesh state uses meditation classes to beat the stress factor among its police personnel. At a 3-day workshop at police headquarters in Shimla, police took part in yoga classes to relieve symptoms of stress. Officials of the voluntary organization conducting the workshop said such exercises would greatly help police to deal with stress. Randir Ranta, vice president of Ashadeep, says all police are under stress. They have to work for 24 hours. Their workload is huge. They're transferred frequently, and even political interference is too much. So they constructed the workshop to reduce stress levels. Police said the workshop was helpful. As they cannot get leave of absence when they want, they cannot take care of their children, so their family life becomes zero. Also, officers are not getting promotions on time, so this course is very helpful. Anyone who had any German currency left after the introduction of the euro should visit Ulrike Ortwein and Sabine Hecker, who will turn the simple, worthless notes and coins into wearable pieces of art. Ortwein and Hecker had the idea of turning the old coins and notes into jewelry in the days before the new common European currency, the euro, was introduced. As the day of the change to the euro came closer, the artists thought of this project as homage to the German mark. The designs are unique and playful. The most popular model is of a penny coin bent upward and attached to a simple silver ring. One silver ring shows the eyes of Annette von Droste-Hulshoff, the figure that appeared on the German 5-mark notes through 2 tiny windows. Other models are simply pieces of the notes folded to make a ring. The artists say that every piece of jewelry is one of a kind. Ortwein says people couldn't imagine what they would look like. They thought about the jewelry made out of coins, the gold Deutschmark coins that exist already, and that's what she believed they thought of. The results came as a surprise to many. Part of the uniqueness was the amazing results achieved by folding the notes together and the little windows with the eyes looking out. This brought out the playful aspects of the jewelry. Thus ends Wild and Weird's in-depth look at how coins have been turned into bling. And this segment cost us a pretty penny. Oh, yes, it did.